I just saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm gonna tell you everything I thought about it with no spoilers, of course. But first, it got me thinking. Are superhero movies getting worse? Everyone seems to think so. So let's find out by ranking over 110 of the best and worst superhero movies ever made. We're gonna be discussing everything from Zack Snyder to the Fox X-Men universe, Marvel movies, all leading to a final ranking for the newest addition to the MCU, Deadpool and Wolverine. So let's get started. All right, our first film today is going to be Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. What is that, the last DC movie? Directed by James Wan. I think these movies are kind of fun and enjoyable, but nothing more. And so I think it's pretty fair to throw that one in the C category. Then right off the gate, we got one of the best of all time, one of the GOATs, Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst. It's going S. Doc Ock is one of the best villains in any superhero movie. I think you guys will all agree. Yeah, I mean, that's just a banger right there. The Marvels. Yeah, I mean, The Marvels is going D. Who cares about The Marvels? It's a bad movie. X-Men First Class. Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn, pretty hit or miss lately. I do like Kingsman. I do like Kick-Ass to an extent. And X-Men First Class, one of the strongest X-Men movies. I love the X-Men movies. I might be going... I think A is fair for that one. New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I did look this up. I looked up if they were a comic book first. It is a comic book first, so therefore it is a comic book movie, and I consider that to be a superhero movie in my book. What is it? And Mutant Ninjas, they're not superheroes? Come on. Yeah, of course they are. I really enjoyed this movie. I think I'm going to go B for a superhero tier list. I might go a little bit higher for an animation, but for superhero, we're going to go B. Batman Begins, I think it's the second best Nolan Batman movie. I think it's fantastic. I really love the Scarecrow. I think it's one of the strongest of all time. And honestly, it's not the only one in this trilogy that's going S, but it's going S for me. I think it's great. And I think people kind of underrate it. Of course, The Dark Knight's better, but not by much, honestly. And for a reboot of Batman, it's a pretty badass film. Phantom. The Phantom is Billy Zane, I believe, is the man who plays the Phantom. This is kind of a campy, fun movie. Doesn't really stick out to me. Wasn't terrible, wasn't great. I'm gonna go with C for this guy. And then followed up by the first Wolverine movie in the list that we've hit so far. And this is the Wolverine, James Mangold's first take at Wolverine. This is Wolverine and samurais fighting, what is it? Not Venom, I forget her name. But the villain in this movie, kind of forgettable, clearly. Viper, maybe her name is. But just a kind of forgettable film. But some good stuff. I don't know. I'm pretty torn. I don't rewatch this as much as I feel like I should if I liked it that much. So I feel like I gotta go see. But there's some stuff in here that's really great. Like, I did just rewatch the intro of it, but man, something about it falls off. Wakanda Forever. I actually really enjoyed Wakanda Forever. I thought Namor was awesome. I thought they did the best they could without Chadwick. Obviously, the movie would have been much better if Chadwick was in it. And the script kind of suffered because of that. I didn't think the Ironheart stuff was necessary at all, but Namor was so freaking badass that I kind of got to go B, because Namor was just a badass, and I love a good villain, and I think that he was one of the best in the MCU. Original Power Rangers movie, gotta go C. Grew up with it, grew up loving it, don't remember much about it, but for some reason, those costumes are pretty iconic to me, and enjoyed it. All right, this is my first hot take. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 4 or Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in a theater. I don't like this movie. I don't like this movie at all. I think it's really hard to watch, and this was probably my lowest. This is one of my low points in the MCU. And of course, right up next is Quantumania, which I also didn't like. However, I did like it more than Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I know it's a crazy take. You guys can blow up my comments and tell me I'm crazy for it. But I don't know. I didn't quite love these last two. I mean, these are all three very recent Marvel movies. I didn't love any of them at all. Which, by the way, this feels like a good time, guys. If you want to give a like to the video, if you want to throw a comment telling me I'm an idiot, this is a great time. And also, channel memberships are up right now. And there is a spoiler review for Deadpool and Wolverine over there if you want to subscribe. It's only $1 a month. And I'm going to be sending live streams. I'm going to be reviewing every movie I watch over there. So if you do want to, become a channel member, head on over. It's 99 cents. You can hit the join button right below the video. And you're going to immediately get some Deadpool reviews, a Bike Riders review, a Long Legs review, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, the Guy Ritchie movie will be reviewed over there. That stars Henry Cavill. And yeah, I just want to make sure you guys have a place to enjoy a lot of content. All right, so X-Men, original X-Men. I gotta be honest, guys. I love this movie. We're not going to talk about Bryan Singer to too much extent here, but I love this movie to death. I think it's just one of the best superhero movies, and obviously it started really. Really, it did push the trend massively. This was before Spider-Man. You got to remember. So it launched Hugh Jackman as the best casting in any one of these movies. And I think X-Men 1 is iconic. I think it's kind of forgotten a little bit and should be talked about in one of the best in the genre. Followed by Brandon Lee, rest in peace, The Crow, movie that's being remade in a month that is supposedly awful. So I will be paying respect to the original by giving it A. It's not a movie I rewatch a lot, but it's a movie I loved when I first saw it, and it really stuck with me. Freaking visually just incredibly interesting, and shouldn't be remade, at least in the fashion it's being remade. It's pretty embarrassing how badly this movie is being received. It probably has no reason to exist. Which brings me to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I gave it A on my animation list. I'm going to give it A here. I think it's fantastic. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but it has some incredible sequences, and I thought that Spider-Man 2099 was really cool, and Oscar Isaac was great as the voice, but not much more beyond that. Okay, let's take a look at what we got so far here. And I don't think anything's too controversial yet. We got Spider-Man S, Batman Begins S, X-Men S, X-Men Last Stand A. Yeah, come on, guys. If you're gonna try to tell me that the Marvels, and quite frankly, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Quantumania belong any higher than maybe arguably C, you're crazy. But let's get back into it. All right, next up we got The Eternals. Now, The Eternals is not a good movie. It's pretty damn slow, but it is pretty well made. The production design is very good. In a world full of blue screen bullshit, this movie looks much better than most Marvel movies. Is it a better script? No. Is it a better superhero movie? Absolutely not. But it does look pretty damn good. And at least the environments are, like, actually real. So we're going to go see. Batman Returns. Batman Returns is one of my favorite Batman movies. It's one of my favorite Tim Burton movies. I think Danny DeVito is crazy as the Penguin. I think Michelle Pfeiffer is the best Catwoman we've ever had. And who could possibly not love Christopher Walken being crazy in that movie? So we're going S. Followed by another S, Easy S, Iron Man. Come on, it launched the whole thing. Without Iron Man, the MCU doesn't work. Jon Favreau deserves a massive amount of credit for it, and it also rehabbed Robert Downey Jr.'s entire career from nothing. So I think that movie's quite a cultural moment, and it should be S. Followed by a movie that's not quite a cultural moment, and another movie that I do not enjoy by Disney. It would be Quantumania. MODOK is pretty damn annoying in this movie. In general, it looks maybe the worst out of any Marvel movie ever. It looks awful. Somehow they aged backwards and they're on like the 23rd movie and it looks worse than it ever has. This movie is just incoherent, and I hated the second Ant-Man. I hated this Ant-Man. But I didn't hate it as much as Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're going to go D, but just think about it as D, but above Guardians of the Galaxy, just to make you guys that think that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is really good even more mad at me. Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder is actually the worst Marvel movie. I hate this movie. I had a horrible time in the theater. The person behind me, every time they laughed, decided to smack their leg because it was just so damn funny. And that person should never go to a movie theater ever again because that was super annoying. The original Superman. It's gotta be S. It is iconic. Richard Donner is incredible. John Williams' score is incredible. The movie holds up impeccably. For a movie that came out a few years after Star Wars, it's actually shocking how much better the sci-fi scenes in this film look compared to Star Wars. Watch this movie next to A New Hope. I'm telling you, it's so impressive for the sci-fi genre. I would argue maybe more impressive than the Star Wars movies is this movie. And I know that's crazy, but everything on Krypton just looks amazing. Everything in like the Void with Zod is amazing. I just love this movie. I could watch it infinite amounts of times. Birds of Prey, kind of forgettable. I'm gonna go see. Not much to say about it. Ewan McGregor. Usually, I love Ewan McGregor, and he would more normally buy me points, but it's fine. The Batman. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I've rewatched it multiple times. I don't have much negative about it. I honestly, I know it seems like I love everything, but I do think it's an S. I think it's one of the best superhero movies to come out in the last, decade since really Nolan stepped out of the game. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than like I loved it. I loved Gerard Pattinson's Batman. I love the tone. I love Matt Reeves. I'm a huge Matt Reeves fan. I'll always be on his side. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I can't wait for the Penguin, and I can't wait for the second part. Suicide Squad. The new Suicide Squad. James Gunn's Suicide Squad. James Gunn's Suicide Squad's an A. This movie's hilarious. This is one of the funniest comic book movies, superhero movies ever. It's incredibly well directed. It was extremely entertaining. I loved it. I wish I saw it in a theater. And yeah, I mean, I really, really loved it. And I was so happy when it really turned out because I was excited for the first one. And when the first one was as bad as it was, I was pretty disappointed. So that's Suicide Squad. And Hellboy 2, I'm gonna go B. I like Guillermo del Toro a ton. I think this movie is incredibly entertaining, but I'm not gonna say it's something transcendent. It's something that stuck with me. We're making a dent, guys. We're making a dent. We got quite a few left. No Way Home. No Way Home. Third Spider-Man movie, most recent Spider-Man movie. And I'm not a huge Tom Holland Spider-Man fan. I guess I enjoyed the fan service of this. However, I would say the fan service in Deadpool and Wolverine, without getting into spoilers, is much more satisfying for me personally, and I enjoyed it more. But No Way Home, it was good. And that was about it for me. I didn't think it was anything better than good. So I'll go B. And I saw it twice in the theater, and the second time I was pretty bored. I wish that movie landed better for me. And now another hot take. Batman Forever. Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Val Kilmer as Batman, the single Val Kilmer. You got Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Okay. And Chris O'Donnell, first movie. Alfred, the best Alfred casting maybe ever. I don't even know that guy's name, but he's just so like old and perfect as Alfred. He just feels like an animated character. Batman Forever. Joel Schumacher, unhinged vision for Batman. Comic book come to life. Absolute not taking itself seriously at all. This is super controversial tone for Batman. I would argue it kind of started with the first one. The first one was not the most serious movie of all time. So Batman Forever, for the sheer rewatchability of it, for the sheer way it is burned into my brain every time I think about Batman movies, I have to put it in A, and I would just be lying to myself if I didn't put it in A. It's just so enjoyable to watch, and if you disagree, you disagree, but it's such a fun watch, and superhero movies are meant for me to have fun. It's why I love Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoiler, I love Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's because I had fun. It's because I had so much fun. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Badness, on the other hand, man, this is like the same thing gone super wrong. It's super fun, quote unquote, but it is a slog to get through. And I haven't rewatched it, haven't thought about rewatching it. And honestly, this is, again, Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was just the better version of this movie. At least it's the version I cared about. So we're going to go that where we're going to go C. Black Widow, another C. It's whatever. I mean, it's so forgettable. Shang-Chi, I actually really enjoyed. I would go B for Shang-Chi. I thought that director did a great, what is it, Daniel Destin Cretton, I believe his name is, or yeah, something like that. He did, I believe he did Short Term 12 as well, which is a Brie Larson film, and a Sean Gallagher film taking place in like a foster home situation. And it's fantastic for like misfit kids. That movie's great. So I liked his direction. I thought the action in this movie was great, specifically like the scaffolding fight scene and the stuff on the subway train. It's just a really entertaining Marvel movie, and I thought the third act sucked, but kind of at this point in the MCU timeline, I kind of go in expecting the third act to suck, so not super brutal to experience that. Batman. Original Batman, gotta go S. Come on, it's one of the biggest influential, most influential superhero movies. You got Tim Burton starting everything off with his painted backgrounds, just like I just love Tim Burton. I love how he makes movies. He just finds a way to make everything look exactly how he wants it to, whether he has to paint it into existence or do something with claymation in post. He does whatever he wants and makes it whatever. He makes movies so uniquely, and this movie just movies don't operate like this today. And that's why I respected what Joel Schumacher did. Yeah, it's only 10 years after this, but Joel Schumacher took that and like I guess you could say Matt Reeves' Batman movie feels as like genre as Tim Burton, but not really. It's not as gothic, right? It's still gothic, but it doesn't have the same level of just like relentless gothic tone. And it just, this movie's oozing with tone and style. Jack Nicholson as the Joker, come on. Like, Michael Keaton was just bastardized in another film. But yeah, I mean, Batman is great. It's gotta be us. And now we've got Zack Snyder's Justice League, a movie that is probably very polarizing for a lot of people. Some of you are probably huge fans. Others of you probably think it's a pretty self-indulgent, you know, 2 times the length it probably should be. I'm somewhere in the middle. I find it pretty entertaining, and obviously just like leagues above the 2017 Joss Whedon butchering of this material. But I don't think it's a good movie per se. It's a movie I really, really enjoy parts of. I think there's a great 3-hour movie in here. And that's the bummer for me, is that he decided to go so far with the director's cut and shoot extra scenes with the Joker, and all that stuff sucks. And like even Martian Manhunter is just like so naughty. It's all just so unnecessary, and the movie could have been. I just think the 3-hour version of this is like actually one of the best superhero movies, and I'm sure someone has cut it together. But you can't just like act like that is the real world, right? He put out what he put out, and so it's B. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Goddamn, that movie fucking sucks. Joker. Complicated relationship with Joker. Undeniably, it's very good. Undeniably, it's very well made. I'm happy that superhero movies can be this artistic and this well made. That makes me happy. But when you just remake King of Comedy and Taxi Driver in one movie and basically say, oh yeah, Martin Scorsese inspired this film, but it extends past inspired this film. Martin Scorsese wrote this film, and you just put the Joker in it. So I don't know, man. I mean, the new one looks the same. I mean, it looks good, but it does look like more of the same. So it's got to go B for me, and I hope the new one's good. I hope the new one's more original. I already know they're ripping off a bunch of pretty popular French musicals for it, so who knows? I'll try to watch the source material first, so I feel like I have an educated opinion on it, just like the Joker. I happen to have seen both those Scorsese films, but I don't know, man. It's whatever. New Mutants. One of the worst X-Men movies, if not the worst X-Men movie. Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman 1984. I mean, it's Patty Jenkins, unfortunately, being extremely stylistically challenged. And not even everyone getting it for what felt like free on HBO Max the day it was released could do anything to save how absolutely painful it was to get through. Spider-Man Far From Home, it's definitely the worst of that trilogy, and I have had no interest in rewatching it. So for that reason, it is C. Captain Marvel. Again, Captain Marvel kind of feels like the same kind of boat. I actually think it's better than most people do. I liked the Skrulls. I liked Ben Mendelsohn in there. I liked Samuel L. Jackson riffing with Ben Mendelsohn. But I found the direction and Carol Danvers and the character of Captain Marvel to be really lackluster and lacking really anything interesting about her in this whole film. I thought the director, Ryan Fleck, and I forget the woman's name, unfortunately. It's Sam something Fleck, but yeah, no, it's just not for me. But it wasn't worth bashing, but it wasn't great. Shazam, another one, like, it's good. I don't love it. It's whatever. I enjoyed it, but I don't really think it's good. Mystery Men, Mystery Men, we gotta be fair here. We gotta go see Mystery Men. Mystery Men is fun. It's a bad movie, but it's fun. It's a good time, and if you go in wanting to be watching it, watch a superhero, spoof, of course, it's great. First Aquaman. Okay, first Aquaman is an A for me. Here's why it's an A. It's a really, 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 really bad movie. It is a very, very bad movie. It's like there's a scene where Power Ranger, soldiers, blast through a house, and like a baby is being thrown around. It's a crazy movie. It's not good, but hear me out. It's so much fun to watch. It's so much fun to watch. Everything with Black Manta everything with Black Manta and Yahya Abdul Mateen. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's oozing with tone. James Wan was on crack making this movie. It's crazy cool looking. Everything with Jason Momoa and Hira is awful. It just is terrible. The flower scene, are you kidding me? The flower scene in Italy is one of the worst things I've ever seen. But the fight scene at the end on the freaking yacht or whatever, the boat that's like capsized, and it's so cool and fun to watch. It's like a guilty pleasure movie for me. I'm gonna hit you guys with a bunch of guilty pleasure high rankings. I can see one already coming up that's gonna blow your mind, so bear with me. But yeah, I don't know, man. That movie is whatever. What do you guys think of Aquaman? Let me know what you think of Aquaman. Avengers Infinity War. It's gotta be S. I mean, one of the best MCU movies for sure. We talk about Iron Man. I'd say this is, this and Endgame are the end cap to that entire story, right? That entire legacy, I think, starts with Iron Man, ends with Endgame. So Infinity War is an integral part of that, and I think one of the coolest, theater experiences I've ever had. Dark Phoenix. It's bad. It's going to go D. It's going to go D. Guys, we're flying through here. We got quite a few left, but we're flying through. We're making progress. Not a lot to say about Dark Phoenix. Everyone knows how bad it is. It's a bummer because Michael Fassbender is the coolest Magneto ever, and James McAvoy makes a pretty killer Professor X, especially when he's bald. But it's a terrible movie. It's followed by another terrible movie. It's Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 1, Joss Whedon edition. It's really bad. Ant-Man and the Wasp. We're gonna fly through these because they just suck. It's probably one of my before Thor: Love and Thunder, this was the one I thought was the worst. It's pretty bad. I don't like it, and I don't think there's much redeeming about it. I think the Wasp is a super boring character. I wish she was better. Venom, the first Venom, we'll go see. It's whatever. I don't love it. I don't despise it, but I don't really like it, and I don't really have any interest in rewatching it. Followed by one of the best of all time, one of the most influential superhero movies ever made. It's Endgame. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie. It's one of the coolest blockbusters I've ever seen. It is insanely impressive that this movie was ever possible. Like, when you make Iron Man and then you get to the Avengers, you think to yourself, oh my God, Marvel, I cannot believe they just made the Avengers. And then, another almost decade goes by. What is it, like 6 years or something? And they get another 15 movies to develop, 10 times the characters. And now you got, an entire comic book page spread across the theater screen in the most like vibrant and exciting way you could have ever imagined. This movie delivered on everything that a superhero movie could ever deliver on. And honestly, there's absolutely an argument to be said that this could be the best superhero movie of all time. So, I mean, Endgame, leave a comment what it meant to you guys, to see this movie. Let me know what you think. But Endgame, to me, man, that movie is what it means to be a good superhero movie for sure. And then you got Homecoming, which it's fine. You know what? I have to put it in A because when I first saw it, I really did love it. But the twist is so cheesy, and it's just so cheesy. So I don't know. I mean, I really liked Tom Holland initially as Spider-Man. It's fine. I don't rewatch it. I don't want to rank it that high, but it's good. I would be lying if I said it was bad. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think has to be. Well, I think it's pretty good. I would go A. I don't think it's the most rewatchable movie I've ever seen in my life, but it certainly is a good time. And yeah, I thought it was on par with the first one. I don't really have anything super negative to say about it. So I know it's surprising considering how much I hated the third one, but I just don't like it at all. God, Thor Ragnarok. All right, guys, another one where you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I'm not a big Taika Waititi fan. I think what we do in the shadows is genius, but as far as his other stuff, I'm just not a huge fan of him. Thor Ragnarok is like, obviously a fun time for sure, but as far as being anything that's like really meaningful for the genre of superhero movies for me, it's just not in there. So we're going C. Valerian is an interesting one. You might be wondering why this is in this list. It is based on a comic book, and like I said, I'm putting everything based on a comic book in this list, or in this video. So Valerian, we're gonna go with B. Here's why. I know that's no, that's not fair. We gotta go C. Valerian, while it is a very flawed film, has really interesting and unique scenes, and I just find myself appreciating Luc Besson and what he does with this type of sci-fi storytelling. That being said, it has some of the worst things I've ever seen, like that plate shit on the guy's head. Kingsman Golden Circle. Oh man, I wish it was better, but it's just not that good. I love the first one, and that is just not that good. A Suicide Squad. Man, oh man, this movie had so much promise, and it ended up sucking, and I believe that it would have been good. I do believe that. I mean, if you guys didn't know, basically what happened was David Ayer showed his cut to a test screening audience. The screening audience thought it was way too brutal and dark and painful to watch because they were a bunch of probably people that don't care about movies that are getting paid to go to a test screening because they need the $20. And, the studio freaked out because it was coming off the heels, I believe, of Batman vs. Superman being a relative flop. And so they made David Ayer cede his movie to the editors, and then they hired a new editing team, the team that edited trailer. So the first trailer comes out, it's super dark and eerie because that's the original tone of the film. Then the new trailers come out, and they're playing like Queen music, and it's again on that trend of classic rock, slowed down with intense action filmmaking. And the trailers tested really well, and people thought the movie looked way cooler. And so because of that, they were like, "Fuck, we need to deliver on these trailers. Let's re-edit the whole movie." And so they re-edited the whole movie. And what happened was it sucked. So I'm sorry, David Ayer. I do wish we could see it, but I'm not going to be one of those people fighting to be able to see it like, the warriors on Twitter. But I do think it would be nice to see, just like it would be nice to see the canceled Batwoman movie and Coyote and Acme. But, we'll see if that ever happens. Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is a great movie. It's a really fun time. I'm going to go A. Not much to say about it. David Leitch has since gone on to make some pretty shitty stuff, but I'm a big fan of John Wick and what they did with the first film. I think Chad Stahelski is definitely the talented one of the two of the John Wick directors, but I think Deadpool 2 is a fun time. First Wonder Woman is a B. It's good. I enjoyed it. I remember thinking, damn, that was pretty solid, but I don't really feel any certain type of way about it. Batman and Robin. Batman and fucking Robin is so rewatchable. Poison Ivy is fucking sick. Uma Thurman. Obviously, this movie sucks, guys. Obviously, it's terrible. But that's such an easy take. That's such an easy take because how visually iconic is it? And how crazy is it? How much this movie could never exist today. It's just such a good time. You can't deny having a fun time watching Batman and Robin, guys. You can't deny it. It's got to be B. It's got to be B. Even with all its fault, it's so much fun. Bat nipples? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. If you don't like the bat nipples, go home. X-Men Dark Phoenix. That already was rated in this list. Man, I'm embarrassed. X-Men Dark Phoenix is going to go down here because that already was rated. Ant-Man. Ant-Man is fine. Ant-Man's fine. It was funny. It was a good time. Paul Rudd's great. I wish we saw the Edgar Wright version. I think it would have been probably 50 times better, but it's fine. All right. How are we looking so far, guys? Let's check out how we're doing. I think we've made quite a bit of progress. I think everything looks pretty fair, right? I mean, I think like Batman Forever might be a little out of place. I don't know. I feel like we're doing pretty fair. I know you guys are gonna roast me for Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, but I don't know, guys. Like, I just don't see that movie's that good. All right, let's get back to it. Next up is The Spirit. Frank Miller's The Spirit. Is The Spirit good? No, but I don't hate it. So I'll go C. I thought visually it's pretty entertaining. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Man, Across the Spider-Verse, gotta go S, of course. I mean, come on, it's one of the best. I would say it's one of the best of all time. Incredibly cool animation. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are amazing animators. I think we talked about it in the animation video. This is one of the best animated movies of all time, and it certainly is one of the best superhero movies of all time, simply because it looks like a comic book for 100% of the time. Logan, Logan is an A. Logan is incredibly cool. I do think the final act ending is very melodramatic and disappointing, but Logan fighting Logan and everything in basically the first 2/3 of this movie is the best Wolverine shit you're ever going to see until you go see Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's just a good ass time, and it's bloody as hell. And James Mangold has definitely made a better movie than the Wolverine. And so Logan's an A, and it's an instant, it could be close to an S, but that final ending really does not work for me. And so for that reason, we got to go A. Doctor Strange is a B. It's a cool movie. It's a movie that I think has some really cool stuff in it and looks pretty cool, but nothing more than that. Batman, Lego Batman. Lego Batman is an A. Lego Batman is an undeniably fun time. If you don't think Lego Batman is great, you should rewatch it and reconsider. Followed by the worst superhero movie maybe ever. Josh Trank's Nightmare. Studio career, light my career on fire and mail me out of Hollywood. No one ever speak to me again type shit. This movie is fucked. It's just fucked. Guardians of the Galaxy. We gotta go B. Nah, we're gonna go A. I remember loving it the first time I saw it, and I don't revisit it often, but it was iconic. And James Gunn, I didn't know the guy at the time. I had not seen Slither or movie 43, but I thought he was fantastic immediately. And the tone and style of that movie is something that is severely lacking in the MCU at this point, unfortunately. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is I saw a meme the other day saying everyone left the theater loving this, and then 24 hours later, everyone agreed to hate it. And I think I agree with that. I'm going to go C. It's not a good movie, but I find myself thinking it's fine, and that they crammed a hell of a lot in there for what it was, and Dane DeHaan is terrible in this movie. X-Men Apocalypse, it's bad, but it's a C. It's got one of the best Magneto scenes in the whole series for me. If I didn't say it already, X-Men probably my favorite superhero thing at all. Like any of the X-Men movies, we haven't talked about a lot of them, but I love them. I mean, I love X-Men stuff. I think it's so freaking cool. In fact, we're about to talk about my favorite one right now, X-Men Days of Future Past, which to me is the best X-Men movie. We're not going to talk about the man who made it, but for me, this is the best X-Men movie. So fucking cool. Such an entertaining thrill ride. Political espionage thriller. So much going on, but so well told. Really doesn't get better than that movie in terms of superhero movies. And then we got the original Deadpool, which I'm going to go S as well. I mean, this movie was everything you'd want it to be. I was a huge Deadpool fan. I would say Deadpool for a period of time was my favorite comic book character. At the time when I was reading comic books, which was not for a long time, but I was reading comic books, and Deadpool was my favorite comic book. I would read every one of his volumes before the movie came out, and then the movie came out, and it was great. So I actually like Age of Ultron. I'm going to go A. I really like Age of Ultron. I think people shit on it far too much, and I think especially with hindsight, you should watch that movie and realize how good it is compared to what it could have been, compared to a lot of what we've gotten recently. The first Kingsman movie is awesome. It's an A. It's a little bit too much, but When it's great, it's great. It feels like the Hunger Games and young adult novels in the best way, and I really enjoy that movie. I think it's a fun time. Cowboys and Aliens. Cowboys and Aliens is a D. Is it? Yes, it is a comic book movie. It came out as a graphic novel first, and it absolutely would be considered, for me, as a superhero movie. Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford, directed by Jon Favreau. Everyone thinks this movie is going to be fantastic when it's coming out, but I remember one of the first times in my life. This is a trailer that's meant to be like fucking awesome, like entertaining, and every single time it played in the theater, everybody laughed hysterically when the title card came up. Like everybody agreed it was the most ridiculous thing in the world to call a movie Cowboys and Aliens. Like I don't know what it was because it doesn't seem that crazy to me at all nowadays for a movie to be called Cowboys and Aliens. But at the time, like people went insane for how goofy the title Cowboys and Aliens was. And sure enough, it came out, everyone thought it was garbage, and the legacy of that movie is nothing. Jon Favreau, I would love to hear Jon Favreau talk about it because it's an expensive movie and it is hated by a lot of people. And we've got one of the best of all time, The Dark Knight, which gotta go S for The Dark Knight. Of course, we're going S for The Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan, one of his best movies. Heath Ledger, best performance by him. Best Joker of all time. It's Heat meets superhero movies. The first 30 minutes is the greatest Michael Mann action scene of all time that wasn't directed by Michael Mann. I think Nolan takes a lot of inspiration by Michael Mann, especially in Tenet as well, but that's for another video. This movie is literally one of my favorite movies, but cloned and add the Joker and Batman. Also, an underrated part of this film is the moral kind of question of, who do you save with the ferry boat situation of prisoners and civilians. That movie is it's a really cool screenplay and like doesn't get enough credit. I know obviously it's The Dark Knight, but like it's kind of fizzled away out of the mainstream, I think, right now. I don't think when people talk about Nolan, they talk about this movie anymore. I think they talk about the failure of Tenet and the success of Oppenheimer. And of course, they'll throw in Dunkirk and The Prestige and Inception and Interstellar. But I don't know that The Dark Knight is really celebrated as how crazy it was at the time. And so that sounds really stupid. Like, of course it is. But it probably should be the most talked about Nolan movie, and it's just not. Especially with what he was able to pull off with Heath Ledger at a time where everyone thought Heath Ledger was going to suck as the Joker. Man of Steel. Guys, we're really close to being done. Man of Steel, yeah, Man of Steel is gonna go A. The ending is a mess, but the ending is retroactively made more. The ending is made better, retroactively. So I'm gonna go A. Thor: The Dark World, D. Terrible, forgettable, not fun. The Winter Soldier, Russo Brothers first, Russo Brothers first, MCU film, and it's an A. It's a really awesome political thriller. I think Brave New World is gonna be like a Winter Soldier vibe. It certainly is going for it, and I think that could be very smart. So I'm hoping for the best for that movie. Civil War. I mean, Civil War is great. Civil War is great. It's got iconic stuff. It's some of the best Iron Man stuff. Honestly, actor Deadpool Wolverine, I might be rewatching these movies. I might be diving into these movies. Because, damn, I love Civil War. I haven't seen it in a long time. Avengers, we gotta go S. Do I love it? I personally don't, but I also recognize what I thought of it when I saw it in theaters. I recognize the impact it had on the genre, what it meant to the whole arc of the MCU and what it allowed to happen afterwards. As a page in the history book of superhero movies, it has to be S. It has to be S. The Dark Knight Rises. It's going to be A for me. Is it the strongest of the Dark Knight movies? No. Is it the worst? Yes. Is it a bad movie? Fuck no. It has some awesome practical action sequences. The plane hanging from the other plane. That's entirely real. They blew wings off a plane and hung it from another plane and then shot a movie while a plane hung from a plane in the sky. That's my review. It's an A. Iron Man 3. Okay, hear me out. Shane Black. one of the best writers on the MCU. Is he a great person? No. Uh, Iron Man 3, funny as hell. Iron Man 3, extremely well directed action. Is the ending annoying and gross and stupid? Yes. Is the rest of the movie incredibly entertaining for an Iron Man movie and potentially the best utilization of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark in the entire franchise after the first Iron Man movie? Absolutely. And the introduction of Trevor Flaherty, otherwise known an iconic character, otherwise known as the Mandarin, who is not the Mandarin, but it kind of is the Mandarin. It's this movie was very weird at the time because it subverted every expectation you had going into it. Would I have rather seen a straightforward Mandarin movie? Maybe, but now we have an interesting character that's been weaved into the MCU pretty successfully. So maybe this movie is worth reevaluating because I enjoyed it. The Flash is not a movie I hated. It's a movie that I thought actually was pretty fun. But it's not good. It's not good, but it's fun. The Green Lantern is a bad movie. Martin Campbell should have made a good movie. I can't believe it was wasted. The decision to go with the CGI suit was ridiculous. Green Lantern's such a cool character. I don't know really why these movies keep failing like this, but I'm sure someday I will find out. Why? I'm not quite sure how Martin Campbell and Ryan Reynolds didn't pull this off, but they just failed completely. Thor. Thor is gonna go A for me. Here's why. Kenneth Branagh directed a movie with so much fucking style. The sets and way this movie is shot is fantastic. Is Kat Dennings annoying? Absolutely. But again, when you look at this movie against what came after it, in a lot of ways, even though we've gotten Endgame and now we've gotten things like Deadpool and Wolverine that are really successful and really entertaining, you've got Thor, which just is kind of a cut above in terms of the cinema, in terms of the filmmaking of it. It's a cut above the other ones. All right, Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition. I've specified the Ultimate Edition because Batman vs Superman, the theatrical cut, is bad. It just is. But the Ultimate Cut, legitimately, like if you are a hater of this movie, I'm begging you to watch the Ultimate Cut because I really truly believe that it is an A tier movie. Jesse Eisenberg is definitely goofy, but again, I don't take superhero movies seriously. I want to be transported to a comic book. And this movie does that for me. I think it's really, really well done. And a lot of the problems I had with the convoluted plot and things not adding up from the theatrical cut, where I left the theater questioning why, those were solved by the Ultimate Cut, kind of adding context and scenes that I thought were critical. Captain America: The First Avenger. It was pretty influential in the MCU. I think it's fine. I don't think it's a stronger one. Like, I don't think you guys probably think that either. But it's not bad. Watchmen. Watchmen is a banger. It's got to be an A. It's just an absolute banger. Zack Snyder's probably best comic book movie, right? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's his best. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Listen, it's really bad, but it's kind of the Flash level bad where it has some fun scenes in it, and I still enjoy watching it because Hugh Jackman is still great Wolverine, but it's pretty bad. I remember liking it when it first came out, but obviously as you've gotten older, it's just really weak. The Green Hornet is a terrible movie. Seth Rogen should be embarrassed for having done that. I can't believe they ever thought it would be a good idea to have him lead a superhero movie. We'll do The Losers next. If you haven't heard of The Losers, it's Chris Evans, Zoe Saldana. It is the guy who played Negan in Walking Dead, I think. Listen, it's not a great movie, but it's a graphic novel I enjoyed reading, like probably first year of college. And when it came out as a movie, I was excited. And I thought it was a pretty fun time. Like, it's not a good movie, but again, like, we're comparing it to Venom, it's like, it's just a good movie to throw on. It has Chris Evans in it. If you like Chris Evans and Zoe Saldana, there's great action. I think it's like a good, like, cable type movie. You just, like, scroll on TV and roll into it, or it's like a random streaming service movie. I'm surprised it hasn't kind of been reclaimed a little bit. But yeah, Black Panther, yeah, of course. Black Panther, I think I would go B for Black Panther. It's great. But I do think it kind of gets lost in the second half. Like, I remember all the great stuff in the first half, but I don't remember anything from the second half. That feels pretty fair. Right in par with Wakanda Forever, I think it's in B. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I just bought the the special edition, reprints of 20th anniversary of the books. I'm a huge Scott Pilgrim fan. For all the movies in this list, this is probably the one where I like feel the most connected to the source material. Yet, the third act of this movie really lacks what the books don't lack, and I don't think Gideon in this movie is particularly strong as the Gideon in the comic books. So, I mean, I saw it so many times in theaters, and it has so many great scenes. It's so entertaining. It's got to be an A, but it just barely won't be an S because that the foil of Gideon and just him as the character is just kind of weak and disappointing for me as someone who read the books. Spider-Man 3! Spider-Man 3, misunderstood compared to every other Spider-Man movie that has ever come out since, compared to everything on this list. You have to honestly look at this and tell me it's not a B. Are you kidding me? It's so entertaining. I would rather watch Spider-Man 3 than any movie on this C list right here. Right? I don't know, guys. Maybe you guys think Ragnarok's better. Probably that's what you think, but Spider-Man 3 is a great time. Incredible Hulk truthers. Anyone in the Incredible Hulk truther camp? Incredible Hulk is better than all you guys think it is. It's a B. Everyone hates on Incredible Hulk. I don't get you guys. I don't know why you fucking hate on Incredible Hulk so much. It's a B. Kick-Ass. Matthew Vaughn Kick-Ass. First Matthew Vaughn comic book movie ever. I think it's a B. Do I think Kick-Ass is something I would love to watch all the time? No, but I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's pretty great, and it's a fun time. Big Hero 6, I don't really care about. It's a C. I know people love it. For me, it's not one I really return to. Iron Man 2, again, I'll make the argument. Considering what has come out since, I would say it's a B. Is Sam Rockwell really bad as Hammer? Yes, he is. Do I love Sam Rockwell? Yes, I do. Is Mickey Rourke really bad as Whiplash? Yeah. Is Elon Musk in this movie for, more than a second, which would still be too long? Yeah. But it's still directed by Jon Favreau, and it's still Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. So if you're going to tell me that movie isn't better than most of the movies beneath it on this list, I think you're wrong. So B. Ghost Rider, one of the worst superhero movies of all time. Should love it. Should theoretically love it with Nick Cage and a flaming skull on a motorcycle. How is that bad? And yet it is terrible. Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. I think it's an A. I really loved this movie when I first saw it. I find a way to enjoy it every single time I watch it. And this is no different. I'm going to go A. And Andrew Garfield's one of the coolest Spider-Mans. And also, hot take, it's the best Spider-Man suit of any of the movies. By far the coolest suit. First Fantastic Four. First Fantastic Four is not a good movie, and it is a C, but I do enjoy watching it. It is a fun time, but it is a bad movie. Chris Evans as Human Torch. That guy was awesome. The Last Stand, one of the worst X-Men movies, but still, in context with everything in the D tier, is certainly more enjoyable to watch than these movies. So because of that, we'll go C, but goddamn, did Brett Ratner fuck up, because that movie could have been awesome. X2 is awesome, and they fumbled the bag completely. V for Vendetta, for me, is a B. I think it's really cool. I think the Wachowskis are really cool. Natalie Portman puts everything out there in this movie and really nails her role. And in general, it's really entertaining and cool. But it's not a movie I think is as good as an S or an A. People would probably disagree and say A. But for me, it's not quite up there. Second Fantastic Four. I think I got to go C with that one as well. Again, there's some really memorable stuff in these movies for me. Like, I watched them as a kid, and it was one of the first superheroes franchise. It was really X-Men, Spider-Man, and Fantastic Four were the first ones I felt like popped up for me. And it's not great. Elektra is really bad. Elektra is a D. I don't remember much about it except for, some really bad, mansion sequences where, people are fighting and there's a snake. But it's a bad movie. Catwoman, directed by Pitoff, one of the worst superhero movies of all time. And guys, we're getting really close to the end here. One of the worst movies of all time. Pitoff. I mean, come on. Like, who the hell is Pitoff, and why is this movie so bad? 300. Zack Snyder. I don't love 300. I'm gonna go see. I don't love 300 really. It's fine. It's just a lot of meh. Leave Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's not good, but I really loved it as a kid. In fact, I loved it so much as a kid that I'm gonna go B for just how cool it is to see the Invisible Man fighting alongside Quatermain. He's like, what's his last name? It's like Sean Connery's like something Quatermain, whatever his fucking name is. I don't know. He's so cool in that movie. I think it's his last movie, right? It's a cool movie. I don't know. Maybe I should rewatch it. Sin City. Fuck yeah, Sin City's awesome. Sin City's gotta go A or S. Yeah, Sin City's gotta go S. I just rewatched it. Sin City's so fucking cool and feels like a comic book thrown on the like off the page onto the screen. So so cliche, but it's true. It really pioneered everything. The Hulk, man, oh man, the Hulk with Ang Lee's the Hulk. Ang Lee's the Hulk is going C. It's not good. They got Eric Bana as the Hulk, and it's not good. All right, we're getting close, guys. We're getting right to the end here. Original Spider-Man. Original Spider-Man's going to be S. Sam Raimi, defining what superhero movies could be, defining a genre. Both of his first two Spider-Man movies, to me, are some of the best ever. I love this movie. Norman Osborn and Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. Incredibly cool. Just a fucking awesome movie. I wish we could have seen the non-parade version. If you didn't know, they originally a plane sequence where I believe a plane crashes into a building or something happens like that was going to be in this movie, but it happened to coincide closely with 9/11, and so they shot some sequences and action scenes, and I believe that's the Macy Day Parade sequence in the film. So I don't know. I think like they literally comped like the Spider-Man things they shot on green screen for the other sequence into the Macy Day Parade sequence with CGI, which is why you have the balloons looking the way they do. I'm almost positive that's the story, but maybe look it up because it's really interesting if you didn't know. Hellboy, the first Hellboy is Guillermo del Toro oozing with style, and it's an A for me. Just a fucking awesome movie, and you don't see movies that look like this anymore. Again, this is the antithesis of what the MCU became, is this movie. And because of that, it's awesome. And just like, again, I think this is the golden era of superhero content, is this type of shit. X2. X2 is second favorite X-Men movie. It's an S for me. Nightcrawler is unbelievable. Cyclops is unbelievable. Everything about X2 is badass. Pyro is so cool in this movie. Man, I just love X2, and it opening sequence in the White House is awesome with Nightcrawler. Like, it just has so much cool shit. Daredevil. Daredevil's going C for me. It's very bad, but it has Colin Farrell as Bullseye. And how could you possibly be, shitting on a movie with Colin Farrell as Bullseye? Like, yeah, Ben Affleck is terrible as Daredevil, but come on. And Punisher. Punisher is gonna be a B. Again, Punisher's gonna be an A. When you look at everything that's come out since Punisher, it's really it's an R-rated superhero movie. It doesn't get any credit that Deadpool gets for being an R-rated, superhero movie, but it's a bloody, gross, aggressive, very true to the comic books, in my opinion, Punisher movie. And everything Punisher since has kind of sucked. This movie's pretty badass. I don't know how people feel about it. No one talks about it anymore, but I think it's an A. And that brings us to our final film, Deadpool and Wolverine, which I'll give you guys my brief thoughts on it before I kind of reveal where I'm putting it. We'll hover in C for a second. This movie is directed by a director I think is awful, but I loved it. I loved it, and I thought the opening action sequence was awesome. It immediately bought me in. I think this movie is so creative, and for me, it did the fan service that I like. It felt like it was earned fan service, and that the premise I knew I was signing up for was baked into it. The way No Way Home kind of did it. And so because of that, it's just a really entertaining movie. And I think Sean Levy's best movie by a mile. Of course, Big Fat Liar is great, but I'm thinking I'm going. I think I'm going A for Deadpool and Wolverine. Um, Deadpool and Wolverine is a really, really fun time. And I go into it in detail on the members only page. If you guys want to join, it's only 99 cents a month. And I have a full review over there for Deadpool and Wolverine. I have a full review, a spoiler review for that. I also have a review for Longlegs, a review for Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And let's check out what our final board looks like. All right, guys, this is the board. This is the finale. I feel good about it, right? I don't think there's a lot of hot takes on here. Maybe the hottest take is Scott Pilgrim, not an S, or I don't know. Maybe I put Incredible Hulk too high for you guys, but this is my honest takes. Here's the board. You can soak it all in. And yeah, I mean, this is the video, guys. I really appreciate you sticking around. If you do want to become a member, I really think it would be fun for all of us to connect over there. But otherwise, give us a like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. This is a long-ass video, but I really appreciate you guys for sticking around. The ones who did are real, and I hope to make more of this stuff for you guys. But go see Deadpool or Wolverine. You won't regret it. It's a fun time, and film stock.